All right, welcome back to everyone's favorite show. Everyone needs an Aquarius. We are
Cause y'all
back in
do.
the building. Yeah, no, for real, it's everyone's favorite show. I've been claiming it. Uh, Man, shout out to you, Dom. I want to give you props for this Instagram live you had. What was that? Was that Friday? Last
I
Friday
don't
or
even
last
know.
Thursday?
Listen, I don't even know. I think
Yeah,
it was
with
no, it was
her,
Thursday. It
Ryan
was Thursday.
Davis.
It was
I don't
it
know
was Thursday.
the young lady's name that was on there.
Oh, that's my boo. That's Ty Davis. Ty Davis is
Is she a comedian
everything.
too?
Yes. So
Okay, I'm
she's
gonna look.
based out of Baltimore. If y'all are in the DMV area, I don't know. I don't even care if you're in the DMV area. She be, around. And I strongly like she's up there. Like you sleeping on her, you sleeping on Corey Bell. They're my girls. Like, and even like there's like, and I guess it's different now because I'm so immersed in the community, though I'm not
A comedian.
a comedian. Shout out to my bestie to hear more for introducing me to such amazing people that have welcomed me, that have taught me so much just about, life in general. And I feel like if Tahir mess with you and you his friend, he really mess with you. We from St. Louis, we don't really trust people that easy.
But it's
But
weird, but we
like,
trust the St. Louis people out of town.
yeah, like it's crazy. And like St. Louis people look out for you out of town. Cause like G Thing, like we ain't friends, but whenever I see G Thing, it's love. And so I've met so many amazing people because of Tahir, and I'm forever grateful. But like Todd Davis, y'all, is hilarious. Her name on Instagram is comedian Todd Davis.
Yeah, I know she was funny on a lot. So it was Dom, Ty Davis, Tahir, and Ryan Davis. It was super funny but insightful, and just made me start thinking about. I felt like what was in the damn therapy session, and we was all sitting there in the group therapy with the lady in the middle, being Dom, sitting there talking to everybody, talking about their feelings.
I can appreciate the fact that um, people can open up to me and really feel comfortable. And I feel like what happens why people are so willing to talk to us as Aquarius because we're not really judgmental. Like we're so like whimsical and like we want peace on earth, like all those types of things. So I think that that's why people are so willing to like open up to us and they trust us because they know at the end of the day we're not lying to them. Now
Mhm.
sometimes we got to be like, okay, look,
It ain't all
but
sunshine and candy.
yeah, it's not. And Aquarius will give you like, okay, you got a couple times, okay, then it's like pet the cat, it's gentle, and then we coming with the guns on the third go round. Okay, we solution based, and so yeah, it was a good time. I learned a little more about Ryan. I met Ryan a couple of years ago. And so that was also fun. And I think the dope thing about men like Ryan, though people can say that Ryan's toxic or whatever, I think I don't think Ryan is toxic because to me I can see through that. I can see through some of the jokes or whatever. And when you really start to talk to people and you listen and understand, everybody is trying to nurture their inner child in some kind of way and make them proud and let go of certain things. And so I hope that in the live, y'all is still on my page. It's a long live, but it's really funny. It's really good. I hope that all of us on this journey to being our better selves, we do look back to our inner child because there's a lot of things that it's the innocence, it's the heart, it's so many things when it comes to that. And a lot of people that we meet are stuck at that age
Mm.
when it comes to their inner child because they're stuck at this traumatic moment. I mean, technically for me, I could be 6 months. That's when my mom died, you know, like when I first started experiencing like traumatic events, even though I don't, like remember that. But I realized like a lot of things have started to come up recently. So I encourage everybody to whatever therapy looks like to y'all. And I don't mean numbing the pain. I mean, if it's an outlet talking to a friend, actually going to therapy, and seeing what resources are available to you, whether it be like, because I know therapy gets really expensive for some people, and insurance don't do a lot of preventative shit, because preventative, they don't know that word.
Preventative don't exist.
It don't exist, y'all. I told y'all how I had to pay a couple $100 for my damn night guard, which I'm still trying to get the hang of. Hearing aids, they didn't pay for it. So I advise y'all to see if y'all have like a department of rehabilitation, to see what resources are available to y'all, and go on from there. Go ground, go to the beach, meditate, whatever that look like. So yeah.
Well, man, somebody else I want to give a big shout out to is Jamie Foxx.
Yay.
They got him out there kicking it. It was weird. It was in Chicago, hanging out on the boat. So it's like he must have took a PJ there, because I would assume that all the paparazzi would have been at LAX seeing Jamie Foxx on the plane.
He flew out of North Hollywood. Okay.
Okay.
Van Nuys.
Yeah.
Van Nuys. He sure did. In summertime, listen, I'm gonna say this. It took me a while to build a relationship with Chicago.
Really?
Traumatic event happened there that's drastically changed my life. But experiencing Chicago on a good day in the summer,
it's beautiful.
Oh my God. I hung out with my little play brother that lives up there. And it was everything. It was everything.
Especially downtown on the river, one of the little restaurants or bars on the river, and just chilling out there on the river. Like,
we had so much fun. And it's just like, I love being with people that love on me and I love on them back. Like I said, little brother, like he's my play brother. But we just have this like relationship where it's like I said, like it's like my sibling for real. But it's just, Chicago is just the shit in the summertime.
And I would say that Chicago has the least pretentious people to me too.
You say what?
They have some of the least pretentious people to me.
Yeah, for the most part.
Because the reason I say it is, you could be in a room with a stripper, doctor, judge, dope dealer, and an arms dealer all in one room hanging out, and like, dude, you don't know who's who. Like, in Chicago, and those circles are way more intertwined than other cities where you have like a class system.
But when you really think about it, in a lot of places it's like that though.
You think so?
Low key, LA is like that. LA is like that. I wouldn't say necessarily, I would even say potentially if you go out, like if you went out to a club one night, maybe a bar, like I told you on my birthday, and we're going to get to it. Wrong name. It was Seth Rogen. I almost said Jonah Hill was at my birthday party, but it was Seth Rogen. Never mind. But this is a bar in Highland Park, Hipsterville. And I get it. But it's so many people that just randomly come through this bar. Like one time, it was like another birthday of mine last year. Brent Fayez was there. And then it was like random pockets of people, like you said, like the doctor, like the lawyer. It's going to be the stripper there. And things like that happen all the time. So you don't even trip off of it, because think about it, like, especially when it comes to strippers can forecast a lot of things that's going to be a shift in the culture, especially monetarily wise, because strippers can predict like a financial crisis that's about to come.
No, that's real. I never thought about that.
Because no matter what, niggas is gonna spend money on things that they like to do. Really think about it, because anytime you could be having a bad day, all things lead to the strip club. Man, fuck, like I'm finna go have a good time or whatever. It's a birthday party. You end up at the strip club. Almost like the last couple birthdays that I spent in St. Louis end at the strip club.
Dang. All roads lead back to the strip. And it was interesting,
just like all roads lead back to Ray J, all roads lead back to the strip club.
And it was interesting. It's this documentary, or it was something I was watching when they was interviewing a whole bunch of strippers, and they were talking about how everything in Atlanta got shifted money-wise for them early when Big Meech and them got locked up.
Mm-hmm.
Like how when BMF went down, it's like literally girls was going from you know, having 3-4 cars to like all kind of repossessions just because Big Meech and them got locked up and BMF
I
was
can
back.
see that. Cause like think about it like this from this perspective. So like the shift that's happening when it's like a big money industry, um, and stuff like strikes happen or whatever that help put things at a standstill, that's hurting people's pockets. You know what I mean? Like, so in that case, Big Meech is feeding like different vices. So the money that he getting from all these other places, I'm not even just gonna say in Atlanta, that was just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, because you had St. Louis, Memphis,
Right.
Detroit,
And so
LA.
yeah, and so when that happens, and we could say Atlanta is the strip capital. I would say
Well,
that.
technically, supposedly Tampa is.
Oh, see, I was gonna say probably Tampa and Miami.
Well,
Like
Tampa is
kind
the most per capita. So like the most strip clubs per
okay,
square foot. So that doesn't mean that the strip club they have the most.
yeah. So and what I meant by the capital, I meant like the bitches be bad, the
Oh yeah,
food be
it's
good.
Atlanta
It's a whole thing. Like I know I think there's like a strip club in DC that's like that where you get like
stadium.
yeah, like you could get
I
like
know the place.
5-star cuisine. Like
Shout out to my homegirl Victoria that came on the podcast. She took me there.
yeah, I'm like, so yeah, I mean, hey, but Chicago, great
Yeah,
place.
but the Jamie Foxx thing. Remember, people were talking about they think he's paralyzed. He's was no lost like a feeling on his one side of his body.
Yeah, they was
All
trying to
kind
say
of
he
stuff
had a
about him.
stroke. I think
That it was the vaccine that got him. Had him have the stroke.
so. You
And
know what was the weird thing about the vaccine thing? That
it was
statement.
Candace Owens. That's who it was. That she
No,
started.
it was multiple people. But it was like really reputable. I don't know. We have to come through and save the world, okay? Because it was reputable sources, even like publishing stories about that. So that's why I was like,
Well, no, they were
okay,
all copying this one random website
yeah. And I was like,
called
why?
Rap something, and it's owned by all white guys.
Yeah, Rap Radar.
It's not Rap Radar. Rap Radar is owned by Elliot Wilson.
Okay.
That used to be at Double XL.
Mm.
Shout out to his wife Danielle Smith, who's like was a dope writer at Vibe. She follows me on Twitter. We talk about
I love Danielle Smith. She
That's
has
his
an
wife.
amazing book. Oh wow! Shout out to her. I love her.
She's dope.
I always wanted to be like friends with Danielle because when she created Vibe Vixen, I wanted to like write
Yep,
for Vibe
she's
Vixen.
dope. Yeah. So
Hi Danielle, what you doing, girl? I need a job.
we need to get. I need to see if I need to DM her and see if she comes
Yeah,
on the
since you
podcast. She
come on
follows
the
me.
show. Yeah. But yeah, I don't. The weird thing about the Jamie Foxx thing is, I get and I get them trying to keep it mum, probably because of the movie that he was working on and other deals that were coming up, and so they're trying to like make sure. I don't under. For me, I think as Black people, we kind of have to be. And he doesn't owe us that. So that's the thing that happens with celebrityism. We feel like they're entitled to tell us certain things. So like, I think if he did have an aneurysm, right? You know, Sharon Stone is another person that they were able to catch it in time, and she survived. And you know, I have a crazy run-in with her. Oh,
Sharon
baby,
Stone.
Sharon Stone, my nigga. And so, but if you catch it in time, like yes, it can be deadly. But I think it also speaks to things that internally we internalize so many things, especially as Black people. I think it should be a conversation about the health. So when he's ready and willing, I'm sure he'll write a book, and he might tell it in the book. But I think it also like we have to be on it for our health. Like it's been so many crazy things that have been happening, and I've lost friends like left and right, back to back, and it like, so we have to stay on top of that. So I think that the crazy thing is, it's like I said, y'all niggas think that it's a clone. Why do y'all love saying?
Hold on, what? They think it's a clone.
Dog. The crazy thing is that, you know, as Aquarius, we love to indulge in like weird shit like that. Like I've been trying to like figure out, because now they saying that girl that like Yale that was drunk on that plane, they it's like that person is not real.
Right. And when she was pointing about somebody in the back. Right.
And everybody looked. Yo, like they saying she missing. So y'all have to stop with the weird shit. And low key, if she is missing, like I'm more invested in that than Jamie Foxx being a fucking clone.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's Jamie Foxx.
I'm with that one a little bit more.
And it makes no sense. And so it's like, why can't something happen to somebody? Why can't somebody just get a second chance at life? Why can't somebody be kinder to their body? Why can't somebody just go on and keep it pushing? Why always, just like the Gucci Mane thing? Oh, he's a clone. He was ugly and fat when he went to jail. No, he was just kind of out of shape. Yeah. And he worked out. He didn't have nothing else to do. Didn't he do like 5 years?
Oh, I think he might do like 2 or 3 years. It's something like that.
He did it. Okay, so he did a bit. There's nothing for him to do because he definitely didn't really learn how to.
He did 2 years.
2 years. Okay. Yep. In 2 years, he was eating rice and beans and working out on the yard. And
when he was out in the streets, he was doing lean, eating chicken or pork chops and all that, and doing lean. He
don't do none of that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, why can't Black people have the opportunity to turn their life around and look good? So because Gucci now is a sex symbol, it's a clone.
Hey, y'all got to stop with this clone stuff, man. Y'all got
to stop.
Y'all got to stop with the clone stuff. I mean,
and then that's not how cloning and splicing and all of that works.
You can't directly. You can make the clone is like has to grow up.
Yes.
It doesn't
so y'all telling me.
I didn't know we was going here, but I'm glad we here.
Bro, I'm tired.
Like even when they clone sheep or cows or anything, they're babies.
They grow
up.
So y'all telling me this is us and his tether
immediately was born. I mean, immediately was aged up to
yes. Or if it's like us, he was living underground in these weird tunnel things, and then he had to learn how to talk, and within a matter of like 3 months.
All he do is watch Jamie Foxx movies in a room.
Yes, and the Jamie Foxx show. And then had to learn all the words to the album.
Yeah, I don't. Well, there is one conspiracy of not cloning but replacing that is interesting. I don't know if you have heard of before we go to our next topic. There is theories that the Paul McCartney we see is not the original Paul McCartney. No, but it's not a clone, though. This has been a long-term conspiracy theory because Paul McCartney got into a car accident in the 60s before they blew up. This is before they blew up. So the Paul McCartney we know is the one we know, but it's not supposed to be the original one. That they replaced him with a guy that looks similar to him and just put him in the group. That's the conspiracy theory.
So, and this guy just happened to be like just as talented.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know about how all that went with it, but I'm just saying that's the thing with it. It's a long thing, man. On that one, like that's an OG. They at least didn't say it was a clone. They just said they just got somebody to replace him. And I think part of it was that some people never saw the Beatles yet.
I mean, look at it like from this perspective. Y'all remember like TLC had a different girl, Immature had a different girl. People don't remember it. And if I'm not mistaken, maybe it Escape did. No, SWV did. It was initially, I think, 4 girls in SWV.
Yeah,
but
they
it's
got a whole documentary called Paul McCartney Really Is Dead. The Last Testament. Hold on. Paul McCartney is the Last Testament of George Harrison. Came out in 2010.
Yeah, we got too much time on our hands. Like, why haven't you doing all of this? Why haven't you ended world hunger? You know what I mean?
Supposedly, you put
Poverty.
the White Album on by the Beatles backwards or something. They talk about it's some like this some OG crazy conspiracy theory stuff.
I can't.
Well, shout out to them. So, man, we got some stuff. Where you wanna go? We
I
got.
want to start with the bullshit.
All
It was
right.
a lot of guys. It was a lot of drama that has happened in these past 2 weeks, and I don't know what's going on with y'all millions. And I'm gonna say millions because Andrew Caldwell, shout out to him, say it's millions. A lot of y'all
Is
are,
that show still on? Is that radio show still on here? Somewhere? I don't even know.
yeah, it's
I
a
know.
morning show.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying since old girl got locked up.
Yeah, they still work.
Okay. Well, hey.
A lot of y'all are damaged. Are y'all okay? Like,
We always been like this stuff. What you mean?
That's the problem. That's the problem. And I'm gonna blame a lot of it on Western culture, us upholding misogynistic, toxic views of what it means to be a man. And like I said, shout out to my daddy. Shout out to all y'all that came on the show and we talked about the ins and outs of parenting, different things that y'all went through, been able to be transparent. I like y'all, man. I love y'all. But the rest of y'all can kick some rocks. And let's just jump right into it. Usher is another person. Usher is tripping.
Hey, shout out to Sleepy who was like, I ain't forgot Usher with them Usher bucks.
Right.
That he was giving strippers in Atlanta.
Yep. No limit. Got that murder.
Hey, actually, man, I think it's ingenious what he did because none of the strippers wanted to check Usher. You're like, oh, he just tricking. They didn't look to see if it was Usher's face on him. It was Usher.
And it's like, it was like a chain reaction. So ultimately, because like clearly now we're talking about Usher like consistently for weeks on end about this shit. And then what happens? Usher got a residency in Vegas. And where are we flocking to Vegas? What are y'all doing? Spending thousands of dollars on tickets. Myself included. I didn't spend thousands. I spent
And
hundreds.
the Usher bucks are a big deal now, I heard.
Yeah, like it's a whole like after party thing. I didn't go broke toe chronicles because I don't do stuff like that because if I can't guarantee me a spot to post up, I'm not doing it because then somebody stepping on my foot, I'm gonna be beating ass. So
so did the Usher books get you in the after party or something?
No, it's just like, like it'd be like things like they be throwing it like strippers and all that stuff. Like it's a whole like experience, like it's a thing. So ultimately, y'all, Keke Palmer has been the center of controversy, her and her baby daddy Darius, for about a week now. And so Usher is being Usher, entertaining, performing, everything that Usher has been doing since we've known Usher. And Usher is serenading ladies, taking them up on stage, singing, swooning, they weak in the knees. Well, Keke Palmer went and with her homegirls, and she had on a Givenchy dress, black. So like it might have been like a. I don't know. I don't know. She a Virgo. I feel like she a Virgo. But bodysuit. And then her look, little cheeks was out, and it was like a cover up with it, polka dot cover up that was sheer. So ultimately, she is clearly.
She is a Virgo. August 20. August 20.
Oh, she is a Virgo. Oh, she be giving Virgo.
Yeah, August 26th.
That's fun. So ultimately, the clip goes viral, and Darius is pissed. Like, like he don't like the dress. You a mom. Then double. So at first, because we know they kind of joke like that, we all thought it was a joke. Then this nigga comes back and doubles down on it, and is talking about what women should or should not do, the idea of tradition, He refers to her as like a wife and all this. And there are certain things that you just should not do outside of your household, which caused him to be dragged. Like it was one thing about the you the mother thing, like this, but then you added, you doubled down on it. And so everybody, I said, you can't come for Kiki. Black Twitter did what they do best, and they investigated.
Now, at some point, we need to go into the great transformation of Keke Palmer's career.
Oh, we're gonna go into it.
No, I'm saying at some point we need to do a deep dive because I remember at one point people was trashing her on Twitter, especially when they was not believing her about the Trey Songz thing. Was like 5-6 years ago.
So
and people are like, "Oh, Keke gets on my nerves. She's doing too much," and she flipped that whole narrative.
So this is what happens when you have a great team and you. I'm gonna say this about that. If I'm 36. Keke Palmer just turned 30. I was in a lot of she'll be 30. So that's a 6-year age gap. I understand Hollywood. I understand like people be out in the streets. I get it. I was in y'all events. So, but I wasn't I probably might have been on the radar for a while and was underage. So I get it. But I feel like I could see, and this is not shade, I could see how people jumped or made assumptions based on that. Like seeing her in certain, like, girl, you 19, right? Like I could see how somebody could make assumptions, jump to the conclusions of what could have happened, what did not happen. But the moment she said that shit about Trey Songz, I believed her. It was something in her eyes. It was something in her tone where it was like, that nigga did that shit. And then after she said that, slowly people out here started whispering and talking. And I was like, oh yeah, this confirms he did that shit. I gave her the dog a new bone, a big bone to keep her occupied. So I thought she was choking. But ultimately, like you said, there's a transformation that happens. And I think what has happened over the past, like maybe year and a half, Keke Palmer is no longer just a Black celebrity. Though she really hasn't cause think about
exactly.
It. So it is one thing when it's just us, but then it's like another thing when it like now you are moving through different spaces. So you had your own talk show on BET that was like 4 seasons, which ultimately you was able to spin into co-hosting on Good Morning America for a couple, maybe like a couple years, maybe a year or two. I can't remember how long, but now you are visible. And then you have like this viral clip, like you do this interview like that with Vogue. And that, I think that really pushed her forward, because now you like, because Vogue is the fashion Bible kind of, just like how Essence is our but that Vogue is global. So when you get into those spaces, it's different. And so I think in the most recent years, I don't think and Usher is clearly, and this will be a funny story later, but I think what happened is that, like, okay, when she met Darius, they clearly was like at some insecure party. I think they said it was like an after party or whatever, because Darius is Sharona's, aka Dro's, little brother. So ultimately, we get Keke on an episode of Insecure. You have her in like, small little spaces. They're just cute together. They're hanging out. She comes up pregnant, and it's like, oh, she on Vanity Fair. She's doing this. She's doing that. But I think what happens is sometimes people don't realize the magnitude of their person that they're dating, like, because they interact with them face to face daily. So where it's like, I interact with you, Daryl, every day, whether we're texting, we're in the DMs, we're doing all, talking, doing all this stuff. So it's different. So when something like an Usher situation happens, where it's like we know clearly know because there's videos of Keke Palmer singing Usher songs and all these different things. Now she's in that space. Now she has this access, and now he, you know, and I'm not gonna call him a fragile nigga, but I'm gonna say he probably was like, damn, like I'm not as confident. And I feel a type of way. This kind of makes me feel because like I know this nigga, like this is the nigga she always would say, if I ever got the opportunity to fuck, I'm a fuck. We all got, men and women, everybody got their person that they would like.
It's the Mulligan. They call it the Mulligan, or what is it? What was the movie that came out with uh where it had all the white guys in there and they had like they got a chance, they got is it school pass, date hall pass.
Oh yeah, hall pass.
Yeah. So everybody's
So
got that one hall pass in their mind.
everybody has that one hall pass, and it's just like I know if my nigga had the opportunity to fuck Tiana Taylor, he would. He's been in the same. He was like somewhere at where they was like in the same place. I was like, okay, it's Tiana Taylor. I was like, well, dang, can I come watch? Or, you know, like if that would have ever happened. But it's a level of like, you know, like being comfortable in your skin and all these different things. And I think the crazy thing about even people, you know, like dragging his old tweets, dragging him. It was one tweet where he said something about where he, instead of confronting whatever the problem is, he starts projecting. And he does weird things. So he's like in a series of like 5 or 6 tweets, we have figured out that he's a misogynist. He was pretty much a Trumper. He is a Blue Lives Matter type of nigga. And it was like something that came out about some football player or something like where somebody was saying they got raped. And then he was like talking shit about the person that was claiming they got raped.
Oh wow.
So
I didn't know all that.
Oh yeah. Oh, they went to town.
I mean, I knew about the Trumper stuff, and like
Yeah.
he was like talking about Alden Sterling was no, you know, the stuff of Alden Sterling, all that stuff as well. I knew that, but I didn't know all this other stuff. Wow.
Oh baby, they did a deep dive. And I think I can see how people could feel like Keke Palmer was wrong. I could see how people could somewhat be on his side. But I think that the bigger issue here is, why do people come to social media to air their grievances?
Yes. Because he didn't have to say anything.
He didn't have to say anything. That could have just, and I wouldn't.
People may have been talking about it for an hour or two, like, "Ooh, look at Keke grinding the ushers." I know how I would feel, and if he didn't say nothing, it would never. Nobody would ever.
Right, and so ultimately, you know, I think that I wouldn't even send a text. I would have waited till she got home and just like, okay, so can we talk about that? Like, I kind of feel like a little disrespected or whatever, and they could have had to talk about it, and we would have never known.
So is he an actor too?
No.
Okay.
Don't ask me what he do because I don't know.
Okay.
And so also, and I think the crazy thing about all of it is like him trying to come across like this tough nigga. And at one point you deactivated your Twitter, but then he was like, nah, I didn't do that. But then you made it where people couldn't respond to your tweets. Like they couldn't comment on it. So it's like, you're not that tough guy that you trying to be. And so ultimately for me, I'm like, you know, people are like, no, she disrespected him in public. It needs to be checked in public. I was like, no, you don't do stuff like that. And the dress is only a big deal because y'all made it a big deal. Y'all the one that freeze framed the video and was like, look at Usher, look at how he's a fucking entertainer.
Usher's also a terrorist though too.
I mean, listen,
he's also a part-time terrorist too. Like, let's keep it real.
I think what makes the situation with Usher funny is that I don't mind him engaging and liking the tweets. It's like kind of funny.
It is funny. I know he's sitting there laughing like, these cats is so sucker.
Yeah, and so ultimately, for me, I feel like the situation at hand is like I like how Kiki. The only thing that Kiki Palmer even said about it is like she was gonna stick by her man, but I think this also with this happening publicly, I think that there could have potentially been something happening behind closed doors that we were not privy to, and
Mhm.
then maybe they was on shaky ground a little bit, and then this happened, and so it was like the icing on the cake
Yeah. Also, but
because
also, I wonder this with Kiki though. I either she's ingenious or this could potentially hurt her if you go with what I'm saying. I'm saying she's getting that Regis and Kelly and all that money now. Was either she's changing the way people look at someone that's able to do that, or these people that the mainstream audience are they going to reject that she was doing something like that with Usher, or is she going to be able to change the narrative of like, wow, that's kind of dope that this host was doing hanging out with
no,
Usher.
the thing is that she has turned this into a cash grab. Now she has merch, all of that stuff. So you have to think about like, yes, it is. Wasn't it on like CNN or something?
Yeah.
So like you have to think slow news day. Like we know how that stuff works. So it's funny, like they're gonna tap into things that are trending. Because it gets clicks, it gets views, you got ad space, you got all these things that are happening. So ultimately, I think the conversation really needs to be around like why do people run to social media? I've had that experience. Like someone you're dating, you had a private conversation, or regardless of even if that conversation hasn't taken place or somebody has a problem, you find out on Twitter before they say anything, to you, or you can, confront them about whatever the situation may be. It is the weirdest space to be in.
And some of this may be age. I don't know how the young brother is.
I think he's like around her age.
I think
It,
some of it has to do with age. Now, if this was a grown ass person, I mean, they are grown, but I give them a little bit because they grew up so much in that social media bubble.
yeah.
I think it takes time for you to get out of that if you've always been in it. Like if somebody's my age doing that shit, I'd be like, man, come
But
on, dude.
people
They
your
do though.
age,
That's the thing.
they
And
do, and it's.
I would be more at somebody if they was in their 40s doing something like this.
I think the
Even though
thing
he's
that's.
still a sucker though for what he did.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
I think ultimately, I have an issue with. I think the other issue that I have with the situation is like when you went through his post, he had videos where it's like Kiki Palmer shaking her ass. It's Kiki Palmer naked in tights, she was pregnant, like different things like that. And people are like, well, he posted them, so he felt comfortable sharing that. And I said, so, okay. So maybe in her mind, and it goes back to like women are not possession. We are not items. You don't own us. You don't have autonomy over our bodies. Like you can't tell us what we can and can't do. Though, the lawmakers are, like stupid ass people, men and women that say otherwise. But it's like you can't say that, then that happens, and it's like the moment you can't control the situation, oh, you this, you that, and that be the first go to a lot of and yes, women do the same thing when it comes to men. Like at the moment that a man doesn't do certain things, or for them they be, bitch, you broke this, da 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 da. I just think that we all need to be having a conversation with people about the situation as a whole. Like, why are you on the internet? Why do you feel like her dress was inappropriate? Keke Palmer has been wearing stuff like that since Keke Palmer has been Keke Palmer. This is not new. That has been her entire. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't say I draw the line at Usher. Like I said, I think a lot of it he can say it's the dress. I don't think it has nothing to do with that dress.
It's something else. It's something else.
It's something else. And I'm telling you, like, there was shit happening behind closed doors. Maybe like where she could have potentially said that she wanted to take a break. And because I really think about Keke Palmer, and since she's had that baby, since the whole like there has been a glow up with Keke Palmer.
Yeah.
And so, and she's even said, like herself, like her body has changed for the better. She's had clear skin for the first time in her life. So there's a level of confidence that comes with that. And sometimes people can't take that glow.
No, no, no. When you glow, if you especially if you starting to shine, some people can't take it.
Somebody that light, that people that welcomes people, that draws people in, your closest friends, the people that's supposed to be in your circle will act brand new and will mistreat you and do all of that stuff. So that's what it sounds like to me.
I agree. I agree. I mean, this thing off the social media thing. It's none like I don't really want to. I mean, I can litigate him feeling that type of way in general. But even if he does feel that way, just talk to her about it, and y'all go back and forth about it on the private joints.
Yeah, y'all are grown, and I feel like at a certain point, like I think also I'm gonna say this. I think that there's this weird, unhealthy fascination with trying to humble Black women and bring Black women down to a certain level.
You think so?
Yes, absolutely. I see it every day. No matter how much I block people, curate my timelines. Instagram, I pretty much have it down, and Facebook, because Facebook, you don't have to follow people,
And it'll
even if
pop
you're
up.
friend, so it won't pop up. So it's easier to filter on that platform. But ever since they started showing random people tweeting on your timeline, um,
That you don't
it's
even follow.
yeah, it's harder to filter. Instagram, you can filter it a little more because if somebody pops up, you can mute it for like 30 days. Like, so that doesn't happen. So I just keep muting it. And so ultimately, I think there's this weird fascination with trying to humble Black women because people cannot take that we just be doing us. We just trying to have a good time. We trying to get to the bag. We trying to take our trips, just like the concept of, like people, they say Black girls in luxury or whatever, or the soft life, like everything we do or we create, everybody got a problem with it. Like, this is a safe space that we created for ourselves, and y'all hate that too. Like, my God, like it was one day I followed Jamel Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was this rumor that her podcast, like her partnership
Spotify.
with
The Spotify.
with
Yep.
Spotify got canceled, which wasn't true. So she was like, it was all these people like coming at her crazy about this. Like,
And you know who it was, the ringleader of that.
who?
That fat fuck Jason Whitlock.
Here.
I don't know. I didn't like look. I don't know if I'm gonna litigate him. Keep continue.
But ultimately, it was so many people like cheering and being happy that even if this were true, it was like praying on her downfall, cheering that this happened to her. And so she's like tweeting people. So now I'm seeing the engagement because she's responding, of course, which I felt like she shouldn't have. I would have just been like troll, block, 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 but ultimately, she's trying to defend herself by saying like that's not true. I don't, like I don't know why you guys are saying these things, like because I still have my deal. I'm about to, like do season 1 and 2, but it's like the nasty things that people were saying to her. Telling her that she wasn't like a great journalist, or you broke, you ain't gonna have no money. Like it was like weird things like that, and I'm like, you're nobody. Why do you care? And you know what, the things that if I don't like something, I don't engage with it. I don't follow people that it's going to cause me to troll or say. That's why I don't follow the shade room. I don't follow a lot of them. A lot of them
Mm-hmm.
like rap pages you're talking about that's owned by white people. They're blocked. They can't. No, I don't want to see it.
I feel you.
And so I think that social media has been a gift and a curse, and it has allowed, we have seen people in real time, we have seen how miserable people are in real life. And I don't thrive in that space of being mediocre.
Or is it a
Oh,
chicken and egg situation where the social media make people be more miserable too? So it's like a circular thing where you get to see that they're more
social
miserable in their
media
life,
isn't real.
but social media is causing people to think that they have or become people that have, you know what I'm saying, a curmudgeon lifestyle, I believe
No,
too.
I think it's just perpetuated people's insecurities. I
Right.
don't how crazy I am on no, and I get what you're saying. Now we're seeing it really out loud, like where it would be a conversation with your friend, and she
Yeah,
would say
or
something
because
kind
you
of
had to
crazy.
write a letter. Back in the day, you had to you had to sit down, write a letter, dear Jamel Hill, I hate you, bitch. I want you to jump off the thing.
So
And
it's
then you had to
always, yeah.
go get a stamp,
So
go
it's
to the post
yep.
office,
It's
send
been
it
like this.
in, and
Nothing
wait.
has changed. It's just the fact that it the dynamic has changed because of social media. So instead of mailing the stamp, I can just tweet it for free.
And from my phone.
And yeah, I said tweet it for free from my. Well, you got
Yeah.
to pay for your phone, but but
Yeah.
even if it's on, but you got to pay for the internet because if your phone ain't on, if you got Wi-Fi, as long as your Wi-Fi on and you got an iPhone, you good.
Yeah. I
But
just
ultimately, I think the thing is this is that I think things have always been shitty. I don't think that it's like, oh, social media has put a magnifying glass on certain things, or it's just I said no, it's always been shit. I had
I
this
agree.
conversation with my old coworker in the middle of the mall about that. She's like, do you think it's getting worse, or is it just that? I was like, no. I was like, I'm black. It's always been like this.
Oh, it stays like that. Like that's just standard the way we always knew it was shit.
It was
Y'all may
always
not know it
shit.
was shit.
Yeah, y'all don't know, but I think ultimately, I think people, if people knew how to go outside for a walk and take a fucking breather, you know what I mean? And they would be cool. You know, they would be fine. Go play outside. Go do something. Read a book. But ultimately, it's like I'm gonna troll Jamel here. It's like the Kardashians. It's like I don't subscribe to them anymore. Like I thought it was cool when it was like that first season when they lived in that ranch house on E. But then once they start dabbling with the niggas and really doing wild shit, I said, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't
And you
like
don't have
that.
to. I don't have to respond. I don't like a whole bunch of people. I
But I
mean,
don't follow them. I
yeah, I
don't.
don't. And I used to come at Candace Owens all the time and like talk about her edges and like and call Jason Woodlot a fat fuck, which I will continue to do on my podcast anytime I get a chance to. But I'm not gonna sit there and tweet them.
It's like it's wild. And I think that a lot of people, like, it goes back to the therapy thing. A lot of people need therapy and need to figure out a way to balance their lives. Like, being able to go on YouTube and do a meditation is free.
Yeah, that's real.
Because a lot of y'all are up in arms about things that don't concern you, and the things that y'all should be tripping off of, like y'all don't engage with. Like y'all complain about the politics, but you don't vote. But then, like, the weirdest thing I seen, like, I think out of all of the culture that's weird, I think I at first I would say like certain like groups of celebrities get it worse, but I'm gonna say that like these the sports people, the weird shit that I see about like KD and
Mm.
LeBron, it is bizarre to me. I'm like,
Well, I think that the athletes probably get it worse is because I don't think most people grow up wanting to be an actor per se, but everybody has always been shooting basketballs in the back of their garage. Jordan,
and you know where
or
the
they
people
caught a
still
football
are.
in the backyard, or
They still in their backyard doing that. They're not getting paid for it. So who the
right. But
fuck
they
are
have
you?
that feeling. It's that childhood feel. You don't feel as a kid that you really
Yeah,
like
but
as an
it's
actor, and that's why it's more vitriol. I think towards because they be like, "Oh,
yeah.
I would have done this for free," that whole bullshit.
I think ultimately, I think it comes to priorities. I think it comes to priorities. At some point, it just gets old, and it's just like okay, I follow. LeBron James. I follow KD. I follow like hella like cool athletes. You got the CP3s, you got the Paul Georges. I had to unfollow Kyrie. It was a little too hotel for me, but I didn't say you got weird, nigga. Like what's up? What's up with you? Why you know like so? I was just like I ain't gotta subscribe to that. Unfollow. It's that easy. You know what I mean? But every day, if Katie tweets either somebody you blew a 3-1 lead, then went to your rival team, they need to put an asterisk by your name when it comes to the championship because you cheated. LeBron James, it'd be the same thing. You can't win a ring without this person or that person. You can't do this. You can't. Your wife is this. I'm like, your kids. I said, I thought the kids was off limits.
Mm-hmm.
It is I'm like, every day. And I think
he can just put up Taco Tuesday and somebody do that.
Yeah, listen. And I think ultimately the thing with like somebody probably like of that stature is that they just want to be acknowledged. From what I see is that it goes back to I'm going to troll them until they say something to me. And I've had that happen where it's like, and I'm no celebrity, you know what I mean? Like, and I see these weird things that people say to my friends. So ultimately, like even on one of my posts, like somebody's burner account, I got called a hoe. Like, and I was like, okay. I was like, and so you're saying that it was like whatever the post was, I did the collab post with Tahir. And the person said that to me. I said, so I think you just wanted me to give you a little attention. Hi, how you doing? Are you happy? And then they deleted the comment.
Of course.
It's like I'm like, what do you get out of that? So many people, that's what it's about. It's about being acknowledged. But had you took your ass outside and went from walk, you might have came across somebody that would have said hello to you and asked you how your day was going. Mm-hmm. But you hiding behind your keyboard on your phone. Or going to play in the fucking metaverse, even if that bullshit still exists.
I mean, Zuckerberg said, that's cool, Elon. And metaverse didn't work. I'm gonna take over Twitter when he started Threads.
And it's sad because like ultimately, people just it's like so wild. Like the things that people say and what they do and how they confuse like boundaries. Are they boundaries or are they demands? Because this will lead to Jonah Hill and his girlfriend. Since we're talking about relationships, and people come to social media. His girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend. I'm gonna assume this is his ex-girlfriend. Released a screenshot of a conversation that they had. Maybe it was at 20.
I got it pulled up here.
All right, go ahead and read the message.
It's a couple of them, but this is the main one that everyone is talking about. Of course, it's taking forever now. I had it up. So it's a whole bunch of them, but the main text says, hold on, where is it at? I had it up on here. Okay, he says, plain and simple, if you need surfing with men, boundary, less inappropriate friendships with men, to model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures, friendships with women who are in unstable places, and then from your wild recent past, beyond getting in lunch or coffee or something respectful, I'm not the right partner for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it. And there will be no hard feelings. There are my boundaries for my romantic relationships. My boundaries with you based on the ways those actions have hurt our trust.
Did he meet his girlfriend when she had all of that stuff posted on her page?
I believe
or whatever
so.
She was doing?
I believe so.
So you met her like that. So why are you asking her to change herself for you?
I just want to know why we even know about this shit, period.
That too, but that I'm also.
I think they're both wrong in this because she looked like a fucking hater. because he just had a baby with another girl, and you dropped it the day after he had another baby with another girl, and y'all been broke up for a year and a half, 2 years.
Well, I think she was just.
That's a hater move. That's a hater move.
It was, but it was like
she's talking about for her healing. Fuck out of here.
Like,
yo, healing.
She was like, no, listen, it's more like this. She was like, shit, you know, Keke Palmer out here, like they airing this that nigga out. Maybe we can air this nigga out. I don't think those are boundaries. And okay, so wait, let me say this.
Yeah, both what he said is fucked up. Like it's retarded.
Yes. I think there's because boundaries are for you. I have to be clear when I say that. And people get mad when I say that, because the person that's on the receiving end of the boundary feels like that they should be able to either have some sort of say, but that's not how boundaries work. Like, the boundary is for me. You either respect it or you don't, and that's it, right? Mm-hmm. So if he's saying it's a boundary, I sound like it's more of a demand. And like,
it just like a demand.
Yeah, I'm like, hi Jonah, your insecurity is shining through because this is how you met me. So why would I change that up for you? Like, it's not worth it. So because of that, it's like he said, you now have the option to walk away. And clearly she walked away from it because she was not going to change herself for him, because those are the things that made you like me. If I'm a model and I'm getting paid, what the fuck you're not paying my bills. Hanging out with surfers, what you got against surfers? That's how.
But she's a surf instructor. So what is she supposed to do?
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, it makes the things that it's interesting because, like, as dating is an interesting space because I would say, especially for a person, because you see how crazy I am right here. Mm-hmm. I'm crazy like this when you meet me. Just know that I'm not hiding it. I'm showing up as my true, authentic self. And so I think ultimately, like, yes, I am aware that people, like, they say that people show up as spokespeople and blah, blah, blah. And then that's how, like, people say, oh, there were no red flags because of this. And then he said that, or she did this or that. You know what I mean? But if you just show up crazy, you know, nothing will catch anybody by surprise. And I tell people, I said, listen, I'm telling you right now, I'm crazy. You ain't got to worry about me. It's the motherfuckers that don't know that they crazy that you got to worry about that's going to kill you in your sleep. It ain't me. I told you I was crazy. And believe me,
you have a boundary for crazy.
and my boundaries, like, and we've talked about this. I feel like I'm a pretty easygoing person. Don't fucking play in my face. Don't do things that you know could potentially trigger me. Respect me. It's not a lot. Like, keep it a book. Like, and my boundary is always be fucking honest. Like, that's a boundary for me. Like, don't lie to me. And I know that's a demand, but today is a fucking boundary. I don't like it when you lie. Just be real, because in the end, that shit, you lying is gonna catch up to you. It's always gonna catch up to you. And then I'm gonna really have to act the fucking fool. And I don't want to have to do that. There's an emergency button behind tempered glass that say crazy. I don't want to have to go in there. So I think that if you hit it, but it goes back to what we say about dating and relationships in general. That whole battle of, you know, women be gold diggers, whatever. No, fucking date people that like you. Fucking date people that, yes, it's cool if you like the Rihannas, if you like the Beyoncés, you like the Instagram models, you want to admire them. If you know your pockets don't match or your security level does not match, bless you.
Yeah, thank you.
You don't dabble over there, because that woman should not have to change herself to appease you, so you can sleep at night. That's how you end up dead.
As they Sleepy said on their show, if you ain't ready to be with a baddie, don't even get a baddie.
Don't. It's not worth it. And
the stuff that comes with it. It's just what the game is.
Women, the same thing goes for men.
Yep.
If there is a man that you want to date in a certain bracket or has a certain level of visibility, if you are not secure with yourself, do not mess with that man. Don't mess with him. Because it's going to be hoes. It's going to be group. It's all of these things that come into play. If you can't handle that, leave that nigga alone.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
And
it's
yes, we know half the niggas with money probably on a regular day ain't that cute. But you know what's made them cute? The money.
money.
You got fucking money bag yo out here getting face fillers. And
What?
lipo. So
Wow.
I say all that to say it's like stay in your lane. Know your role, stay in your lane. Because when you teeter, when you start swerving and you get hit, I ain't crying for you. Because you know what's up.
Yes,
It's just as simple. Jonah Hill is not an attractive kid. The girl wasn't, I mean, you know, like by our standards, white people standards, what we would say would be cute or whatever. Like he grew up, he lost a little weight, he got a little swag. All right. He got a stylist.
Mm-hmm.
The girl wasn't that cute. It is fucked up that she did that. But it's like he was kind of dating his lane, but she's still a surfer girl.
Yeah, but she came out with this like right at the head of his baby. That's some real low stuff to do, to be honest.
Maybe she needed closure. And it's a fucked up way how she got it, and I hope she sleep better at night. I don't want to hear about this bullshit no more.
There we go. There we go. I don't want to hear no more about, because she released a whole bunch more text messages and stuff, you know, about what he even said to her. Which, Jonah Hill could be fucked up when it comes in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? But why do we have to know about that?
You like it's like, okay, because she after the Me Too train. And after y'all broke up, when y'all was in a relationship, you should have just did it then. But maybe she was hoping he spent the block.
Oh.
He didn't spin the block. He got with somebody else.
And the baby solidified the non-spinning of the block.
And niggas still spin the block. Niggas
Right, but I'm saying, but in the concept of like, like she thought she was supposed to have a baby. Maybe think, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
A woman scorned.
I ain't even think. I thought she was just being on some petty stuff. I didn't think about the fact that.
No, well, now you saying, well, I didn't know about the baby situation, right? So now that you saying that, I say, oh, that's easy. That's it. Miserable.
This could, even though they ain't kicked it in 2 years, you drop this.
Love is such a funny thing. We're gonna have to do an episode about love being a funny thing. Because those things happen, and I was like, I bet that there was no sort of like, I could see that happening if they were still, what you bet they were still communicating.
That's the only thing that I wonder, if they were still
what you bet they were still communicating. Because like, when was the last day of the text? Because she ain't, if she is doing this every so many days, she releasing text messages, there's gonna be texts that come up within like the last year.
Let me see. It doesn't show any dates on these. Yeah, it's not showing any dates, or at least she kind of cropped it out.
Excuse me. That coffee. I'm like, oh, I want some more coffee.
Yeah, cropped them out. Okay, so this text, the one we just read, is December 2nd, 2021. Mm-hmm. It says that at the top, December 2nd, 2021.
So when she released more, is that the last message? But you said she released messages after that.
Yes, some other ones, but they don't have the dates on those.
Oh, bitch, she does.
Oh, no. That is the last one. She released text that he sent previously before that, talking about her pictures and stuff, and you need to take them down and do stuff like that. So those are the other text messages, or previous messages before his basically putting his foot down. Text.
You want to know? Here's the crazy thing: is when the guy that I'm seeing, when we first met, we followed.
And she put it on the Instagram story, said "fuck it," and just put and
yeah. But it's
that's
like,
the thing that may be.
That's what it is. I bet they still, in some way, probably was still communicating, or her feeling like I said, or she was hoping he spent the block. It's one of the two, or it's both. But ultimately, I could say that when I was first dating this guy, I would say that we followed but he don't be on social media like that no fucking way. Like, just to be so we're clear. But when we started like talking and getting serious, they didn't follow me. And I was like, why you do that? And he was like, I'm not about to see people if I hop on here and you got something, like a post or where you could post a selfie and the nigga say something crazy. Like all googly. He's like, I don't want to see that. Like, I know you fine. I don't want to have to, and he's like, it's not a jealousy thing. Like, I don't want to do nothing that could make me, And I was like, oh, okay, I can respect that, stupid, but I also don't understand that. But I'm like, make sure
he's protecting himself.
Yeah, so I can't be mad at you for like I gotta look out for me. You'll be all right if I don't give you a like. You'll be fine.
You're exactly. I don't. Yeah, man.
So people have to do what works for them. I get it, but like I said, because like when I remember, he already knew. Like, I'm gonna put a bikini on. I'm gonna do this. He not gonna ask me to not wear something. Like, and I get it. There are some women that ask, their partners, or do you think this, or whatever. That's weird. I have my phone on do not disturb. But ultimately, people got to do them, and that's if you don't want your girlfriend doing stuff like that, then you need to go date a country mouse that's not gonna do that.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's almost like where a dude meet a stripper or a porn star, like, oh, well, you got to stop that now since you with me.
Well, look, enter Zion Williamson. Okay.
Oh, we done with that now, right?
Listen. I don't know. Homegirl said she pregnant. I'm waiting for the update, but I could really care less.
Yeah,
niggas don't pay much.
She's maxed it out now. Now, if she was smart, she'd do a porno with a black dude and really get the going back on, because she doesn't have any pornos with black men. So that would be a way to kind of kick some dust back up.
But I wonder. I bet because she dated black men.
They called a porno On the Road to Zion.
Boy. Or The Road to Zion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you get a dude.
We said, oh no, I was like, or we just gonna say The Road to Zion.
Yeah, and get a dude that's kind of big like that. You know how they be doing them parody pornos and stuff like President and all that. Do the same thing.
Yo, I bet that she don't sleep with black men because she likes like dating black men in real life. I could see that. That's for her way for her.
And it's more money probably on that side of it. You know what I'm saying, with the white, and I get it. I mean,
yeah,
whatever.
It's a way for her to disassociate the two and try something for herself. That's crazy. You silly.
Road to Zion. And finally, we got India Reed. The Essence Festival just came and went. We have she got mad. She was questioning Megan Thee Stallion.
She got mad.
Okay, I didn't want to say. Megan Thee Stallion got mad. Megan Thee Stallion's performance and
Janelle
Monáe's performance at the Essence Festival. Some people said they brought Magic City to Essence Fest now because of their two performances. I hadn't seen them either. I didn't know Janelle Monáe has been on her own. Okay.
Janelle Monáe, but here's the thing. It's like Janelle Monáe, if you are a fan of Janelle Monáe, this has been Janelle Monáe. The lyrics have been suggested.
The song that she had with Jadena, where it kind of dropped Jadena, where it was like the yoga, like the yoga song.
Yeah.
That was the first time I was like, this ain't the girl in the little Parker Brothers outfit. This is something different now.
So ultimately, so ultimately, like when Janelle Monáe comes out, her whole story is like the black and the white is homage to her mother being a maid, like a cleaning woman.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where that comes from. But ultimately, we slowly start to see her add colors
here and there, and then like now it's like different things, and then also like her identifying kind of as like I would say more along the lines of queer. I don't think she said she is.
She said she's non-binary.
She's not binary.
Yeah.
I feel like at first it was queer. Now it's
oh
like
no. It's not. Maybe she's maybe she's pansexual, not non-binary. She's pansexual.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
there is a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. Because I thought it was.
It's called yoga for those people that
Yeah,
want to
yoga.
Yoga. Yes.
So ultimately, I think people are so used to what the Essence Fest was and what's happening. And I think what's happening with Essence, because we've seen it even with the cover. I'm looking at Essence right now on my floor, and it has like Rihanna on the cover. Like they're doing like, like they're trying to bridge the gap between, like the boomers and the newer generation. I think they're trying to cater more toward us. And I get it. Like someone made a comment where it was saying that Essence Fest isn't necessarily Essence. It's powered by like another division of Essence.
But Essence isn't even owned by like the same group. It's owned by, I think, by Time Warner or something now, I believe.
Whatever. It's like, but it's within it where it's like the Essence Festival is like a subsidiary. Did I say that right?
Yeah, subsidiary.
Yeah, subsidiary.
Yeah, Time does own Essence. Like
yes. So ultimately, I think what's happening, because I'm gonna be honest, it was only a couple of performances that were really worth watching, but I could see based on the lineup alone what they were trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think like the India Arias, like, which is crazy because Jill Scott is on the line of being just as suggestive, but she just don't got her ass and her titties out.
Which I'm there for.
And, so she didn't say nothing, like about Jill Scott. But I also hear that India Arias just isn't like really like the nicest person sometimes.
I've heard that too.
And so ultimately for me, it's just like, bitch, when was the last time you had a hit? Then you made this whole big fuss about like the situation with Joe Rogan using the nigga word, and then you like retracted your statement. Like, stand in your shit, like stand for something. Like, I'm sorry, I can't support you standing on this when you don't even stand on like simple shit like this. Just white man said.
Number one R&B songs 2019, Steady Love. That was the one where Chris Tucker was in the video and everybody thought they was dating.
No clue what you're talking about.
Oh no, that was a big song in 2019.
No clue what you're talking about.
It's called Steady Love. So Chris Tucker's in the video and they like together. And people thought that they were like a real couple.
No clue. and here's the thing is like, I only like, this is no shade. I like the album that came out around the time of Brown Sugar because one of her songs was in Brown Sugar. But it was like lessons in like, what was it? Volume 2 was the one with the little things or something, the simple things. It's I don't know.
But it was on Voyage to India.
Yeah, Voyage to India. Well, that's the one I like.
Yeah. So video. She got some joy.
But it's like, you're not like what she said to me, like I said, you was hating. Like you
saying because she wasn't performing, you feel?
No, I don't think it has nothing to do with her not performing. I think it just has everything. It's what we subscribe to. What, like I said earlier, if I don't like something, I'm not gonna continuously like make this big fuss about it. I just don't. I turn the other cheek and look away. Like, I'm not about to waste my precious time. Time is short. Time is money. And I'm not going to waste no time about to write a soliloquy about some shit that I don't really give a fuck about. And I get it. Yes, we have podcasts. We talk about things. We crack jokes about it. But it's like, but we're not out here. Like, we will call somebody on their bullshit. But ultimately, what you could have done? Walked out of Essence Fest when you saw it. or turned off Hulu.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. Like it was the weirdest. It was the weirdest thing. Like, what are we teaching our nigga? Twerking has been around for centuries.
But I do. This is just my personal preference, though. I feel like the Essence Awards should not be having Megan Thee Stallion there. I just feel like it
I
should be like an older vibe in general. Like just
no, but I'm telling you, friend. Like I'm
like
what I'm
I go to see New Edition and Janet Jackson. You know what I'm saying? And even
right.
Janelle Monáe, because her music can kind of fit into that mold.
I'm gonna say this. Essence is trying to usher in a new generation of people to come to that festival.
But
That's what.
I think you think old heads gonna stop going anytime soon?
No, I think at some
Or
point
they're trying to get ahead of it before
they
old
trying
heads
to
be
get
like,
it.
I ain't going
Yes,
nowhere.
yes, they are trying to get ahead of it. Because think about it. Think about this. It was a certain point, like, yes, people in our age bracket have gone, but it's not like, oh my God, if I miss Essence Fest, what am I gonna do with my like I think that's what they're trying to do, especially after the wave of like Girls Trip, all of that. Like they're trying to usher in a new wave of people, which is why I feel like a lot of the artists, for the most part, have been more mainstream people, like a Meg Thee Stallion, like a Janelle Monáe. They had, I mean, and yes, Coco Jones is new R&B. You had Ari Lennox, same thing, suggestive lyrics, like sheer, glitter things, cheeks out a little bit. So it's like I think they're trying to get ahead of it, and I think ultimately they probably rushed it because it's been slowly happening for a while.
So you think they should have went straight to Meg? Maybe somebody kind of like the Ari Lennox and them to kind of guide it a little bit more and more. You think
And
that
yeah,
would?
I think because ultimately, and I think why they probably also thought that was a good idea, and I love Meg and I'm a stan, right? But I think ultimately also because it's like 50 years of hip hop, we got Juvenile bagging that ass up, which I felt like his set could have been longer, by the way. But I think like they had like a night, like each night it had these moments where it was like these rap concerts. Like you had Jermaine Dupri, Ludacris, T.I., all of that stuff. So even think about your parents' generation. They don't know them niggas. But I get it because again, celebration of hip hop. And so they kept the ball rolling with that. But I think ultimately that's what's trying to happen is that they're trying to usher in a new audience to Essence Fest. From what it seemed like at certain points, it seemed like it was scarce and some sparse in some spaces, depending on like the artist. So I don't think Essence is knows that they have to pull to us because everybody, grandma and pawpaw, is not about to be in New Orleans in 100 and something degrees humid weather, hanging out, doing all of that stuff. But I
Yeah,
think the whole
but
thing.
I've never seen that young of an artist get that much of a push at an Essence Fest. Like, I get that you need to have Nelly there. Like, that's our age bracket. I just feel like it was much of a reach going for Meg of anybody at that point, and maybe more. And I thought you were gonna say it. Maybe because our situation with Tory, they were like, okay,
I
that could
don't
be
think it
something
was
like that, women's empowerment with it. We
no, because
support her a little bit
they
with
could have put her on
going
a
through.
panel. They would have just put her on some sort of panel. You know what I mean? But I think
But
the
what? But
whole
what? But what if her people said that she ain't coming unless she performed type thing?
then it's like, okay, well, we don't want her. They'll have to go back to the drawing board. But I know what Essence is trying to bring in a younger audience. They're trying to bring in a younger crowd, and I feel like a lot of things has to be revamped when it comes to Essence because it was a lot of things happening even on the outside that was a shit show.
Really?
Shutting down events for
Oh yeah, they
people.
shut down that one. The two black girl vendors that just happened to have something on that weekend, saying
Yeah,
that you can do any other events in New Orleans why they're doing an event. They had
Yeah.
already planned this years ago or something.
Yeah, and so it's ultimately like that. Yeah, they sent them like a cease and desist. But
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I said, okay, are you sending them a cease and desist? Are they saying in partnership, and then this is not true? But they
No,
didn't.
it was a
But
book
that's what I
event.
was saying. Like it was just like they just had something at a bookstore. So it's definitely a lot of conversations that need to be happening because, like, I think even last year out here, though it was kind of advertised in this weird way, they had an event called the Road to Essence. But the marketing for it kind of made it look like it might have been a small, like, like convention center type thing. But then ultimately, when you get the address, it was at a theater and it was like a day of panels.
Oh wow. Okay.
And so then they had like a couple of random performances or whatever, but it definitely did not sell out. Once niggas realized what it was, they definitely left. And I think ultimately they have to rebrand that. Because it's one thing, oh, we all gonna go here and see it, but it's like, what's in it for everybody? Yeah, we gonna walk around this convention center, buy some stuff from some small businesses, see a couple of performances. But I didn't like how, and I know they've been doing that probably for a long time, but like in between sets, the random panels that they was having.
They had panels during between performances.
Yes.
This year's Essence Fest.
Yes.
No, you just need to go to the next act and just.
Yeah, and so it was long, and I was like, y'all need to. This is not Coachella, and if you're gonna do that, this needs to be happening all day. Like this needs to start at like 12 o'clock, not 7. And because like Meg didn't come on till like midnight their time.
Oh wow. 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 I
So
did not know
I'm
this.
listen, my old ass. So that's 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
My time,
I'm
and then
sleepy.
I'm sleepy. Janelle Monáe performance, I was trying to stay awake.
So she was after Meg.
No, this was like the night before. Missy Elliott, the close out, I think it was Saturday, but I was trying to stay awake and I got to it. I didn't finish it.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even know that they did all
Yeah,
this.
the time, I mean, it's ridiculous. And then when I was talking to people, like the new people that went there, they was paying. Essence wasn't even really paying to put people. They wasn't paying if you know how to negotiate. They probably would have, but they really wasn't paying people like that. Like unless like if they had, I know somebody who said her friend, went down there and they wanted the girl to work like from 9 to 5, like at her booth or whatever. And they had hired her, but they was only talking about giving her like $500 or something, not
So
from
this
9 to
was
5.
somebody, another random company, like a company to.
Yeah, it's a company, and then like wasn't paying to put her up.
So she had to get her own lodging too.
So
My
it's like, come
$500 ate
on.
up in one night in Essence, because them hotels like $399, $400 a night.
And what's crazy is that low key, especially if you staying in like the French Quarter area, that shit like that anyway, and the shit don't be dope. I was just there, and we stayed at the Renaissance Grand. I'm used to the Renaissance Grand being nice, and I will say this: probably the one downtown in St. Louis is probably one of the nicer ones that they have because it's like a step below the JW. I had to get my room moved twice. It's no views. Just because I had the setup of it, but still air now. Like it was like every night at 2 o'clock, it was like the air. And this is February. It's too fucking hot for this bullshit. It's what I'm hot.
Damn.
And I was like, I went, and I feel like total for those like 4 days, it was like $1,000 some dollars, like $1,100, and I was like, this is
That
not
sounds
worth
about
it.
right.
I was like, y'all should have saw what the motherfucking because it's one in Beverly Hills, and it was like around the corner from us, and we went to have drinks there. But it was like whatever it was, it's like a luxury hotel out here. I was like, y'all should have saw what the fuck that was hitting for. Because I feel like for $100 a night more, I would have preferred to been there. than over here.
You could have did the JW Marriott too, is around the corner from that Renaissance
Shit.
too. But they probably taxing even more.
It's just not. I mean, I don't know, but I feel like there has to be something doing with Essence. Because I mean, we already know like a lot of for print in general uh
It's
has
done.
been dying off. So, and I know that they probably don't want to just completely go digital, but they have to do something that engages both parties. Like if that's the case. So like I think right now, since Essence is over, that was 2 weeks ago. By they need to take a couple of weeks off and I'll go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Because it's like it was a lot of when you search Essence Fest, it was not a lot of good, like it was, a lot of them was good, but it was a lot of them that the press was negative. And it
Not
had
even,
nothing.
and this is outside the NDRE comments.
Yeah, this was before NDRE said that. So I think they have to come with it next year to really be able to like bounce back. Because
They
like you
said
said,
they was having a good go at it before that pandemic. Like I feel like they was getting, but they had the small little stages with some of your like doper acts. Like Escape made they come back on one of those smaller stages right before the pandemic, and they had Tevin Campbell on one of them, and
yeah,
then they had the main stage going on with like New Edition.
yeah, and so
I don't know
I
if they
think
did, what happened to that vibe, like them
so
doing
that, but that's the thing. It's like Essence Fest is clearly supposed to be Coachella. And I will say I did like in between the performances, like it was like how Coachella had, or like, and like a lot of performances been doing, like they have their hosts, they interview some of the performers or maybe the people that might have been on the panel or whatever. But I think ultimately it's one thing to like invite people to speak. I think they're gonna have to cut back on that. Because they had Shirley Ralph, they had like part of the people, half the cast of Abbott there. Then they had like other people. So I think ultimately it needs to be curated more along the lines of Coachella. You have what's J. Cole's thing? Uh
Dreamville?
yeah, Dreamville. Because
Ari
nobody
Lennox is
wants,
on Dreamville though, right?
yeah. So
Yeah.
no, but nobody wants to, and I know that sounds shitty, but it's like curate a different event where you're gonna have people come and speak at these panels.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like if you want to invite Shirley Ralph, it'll be like, hey, we want you to come. We're gonna give you VIP passes. We're not gonna necessarily we're inviting you. Here are the terms and the conditions. We don't want to hear that stuff. We want to see the performances. So, like you said, on stage one at 11:45, it's New Edition.
Yeah.
On this stage, we got multiple stages, so plan it out. And you can do that, like, because like at that spot, wherever they have it, within that they be having the smaller theaters
That's
and
what
it,
I'm saying, yeah. And you could
so
do that in between your main acts on the big
yep,
stage, even like, all right, we got Tevin Campbell for the 45 minutes to an hour while we setting up this going on over on the left side. Then on the right side, if you on that side, we gonna have
yep,
Keith Sweat performing over. So you just strategically gotta be in the right area to go into the hallways to come see the other performers.
yep. And
And
that's
then
real.
New Edition's back on 10:30.
Yep. It's literally it's like that because I think they're gonna lose people if they do what they did this year. And that's just the reality because like I would love to come to Essence Fest, but I said I would only do it if I was like invited and had like a like a VIP or like pass to kind of flow, like move through
Move
certain
around.
spaces like that.
Damn, I did not know that's all about this SFS. I thought it was going still like it was previously before the pandemic, where they had different stages and kind of like, okay,
If they did, I don't know. I didn't see anything like that.
yeah,
But I feel like based on especially them streaming it, I feel like they cut out that aspect of it.
and maybe the, I don't know. I'm just maybe you don't stream it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I enjoyed the streaming because hey, they bought Essence Fest came to my living room, but I definitely there were sound issues like on the first night, and then I don't know, like that Jagged Edge, don't ask them to come back.
Was all four of them there?
All four of them was there, and that boy Brian, not Brian, yeah, Brian. No, Cal. Whichever one hit the push stuff, made the fiance swallow the ring.
That was the one that went to jail. The one that's
Yeah,
not
not the twin.
the tallest one. The tallest
Yeah,
one.
the dark and the tall, yeah, the tall dark one, right? That motherfucker was just screaming. And it was like popping, and I was like, "Did y'all rehearse?" Monica sounded
he
terrible.
got out of jail for like a couple years.
Yeah, like Monica sounded bad, like really bad,
Really?
really bad.
What was it? The sound or her?
I'm gonna say her.
Really? Wow.
It was like it's this weird thing that okay, so it was almost like her, I don't know if she was nervous, but like okay, so Candy used to not sound shaky, but it's kind of like how Candy sometimes now sounds shaky.
I mean, it could just be time too. Just time your voice don't necessarily stay the same.
Yeah, but that means you're not warming up. I mean you singing through your throat, not your diaphragm.
Yeah, that could definitely be it.
Like I would love to see a lineup or something like next year if it was like a Toni Braxton. We got Lucky Day, Babyface.
That's what I'm saying.
Like Maria. Oof. But like bring back Coco Jones, like Ari Lennox again. We got the Jasmine Sullivan. And yeah, it's like okay, it might be people that's gonna overlap, but then also, like you said, on this other stage, you got the new artists. So you got like or up and coming artists.
So like Vinny and Monica, not Vinny and Monica. What's my girl? That just she got the song "Coastin" that's super dope.
Oh, Victoria Monet.
Like somebody like her be on one of the small other stages. You know what I'm saying over here. While they're setting up for the next big act in the middle.
Yeah, and by that time next year, but Victoria Monet might be able to do main stage.
Yeah, I do. I like her. That album she had, Jaguar, was dope too.
Like, Jaguar 2 coming soon, baby.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm waiting. I mean, Coastin is my joint.
Listen, my shit is Big Boss on Jaguar.
Is that a new one? Is that
no? Big Boss is on. It's like an interlude.
On Jaguar.
Yeah, on Jaguar. It's called Big Boss, and it's on. I was like, can you? Names of the songs. I would love for that to be a full song, but I love On My Mama. On My Mama is my shit. And I love that she is also, I'm gonna say she's like baby Beyonce because visuals. Like her visuals, that
Coastin video is dope.
Coastin, the one with her and Lucky Day.
Yeah, that one's dope too.
That visuals to that are crazy. So, and then she has the, it's so ultimately, like I said, I think the issue with Essence Fest as a whole, like, I'm pretty sure there were people that probably felt like India already like, oh, I ain't gotta see. And for them, they probably was more so long, I ain't gotta see shaking ass. It wasn't, I felt like she was trying to like, I think people don't allow women, especially Black women, the space to be like really tap into their sexuality and just be, So I think that's the issue for me with India Ari's comment. Now, I will say this. Now, I don't know if people left Sunday because they had to work Monday because of how the holiday was set up, but I will say this. Meg Thee Stallion's performance was one of those performances where on the floor, it wasn't a lot of people. And what ultimately they should have done, because they knew the camera was going to be panning, was move people down.
Oh, so they didn't pack out as many people then.
I don't know if it was because it was Meg, but like I said, it's likely because a lot of people probably didn't take a long like that long weekend.
Oh, I didn't even think about it.
Or also too, with that show starting so fucking late, if a lot of your people had had access to parties, I'm not, I get New Orleans stays open till like 6 a.m. But niggas be tired, so they could have been taking a nap.
But also, if I'm in my age, if I look at this lineup, I'm like, cool, I'm gonna go Friday. I mean, I might even I'm gonna go Friday and Saturday, and I'm leaving on Sunday.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even, and that's nothing against anybody that was on that bill. It's just like,
yeah.
85% of people I wanted to see on the first 2 days, I'm not staying for the 15% on
Yep.
another day, on the next day.
Exactly.
So because was it over? But wasn't it over like the 4th of July before? So that's why they got the extra day. Is it because the 4th of July fell funny this year?
Yeah, the 4th of July fell funny this year, and then next year the 4th of July is because of the leap year. 4th of July is gonna be on a Thursday.
See, now they can roll with it then. You know what I'm saying? Do
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Or no, what I don't think they'll do it. I think they'll still push it back. It'll be that weekend, so it'll be Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh wow! You got to take. To me, you got to take. Well, you don't want people trying to fly in on the 4th. I'm assuming
Potentially, or yeah, you don't want
or Thursday, Friday, Saturday. People come in on Wednesday night. Thursday, Friday,
that could potentially, but that is a possibility too. So like I said, I'm just interested in how they're gonna craft it out next year, like with the performances, because I feel like nobody wants to see that. I don't know who I need to write. I was like, so can I be hired to help y'all on the operational, like the time side? I was like, first of all, this shit is too late.
Yeah.
I was like, and I lived in LA and was trying to stay up.
So
I'm a bitch that
might live on the East Coast.
Yeah, I'm a bitch that I fell asleep at the Janet Jackson concert in St. Louis at the Riverport when she slowed it down. I said, "Oh, she slowed it down. I'm taking a nap." Music picked back up. That 15-20 minutes she was doing that shit, and that music kicked back right up, and I woke right up and was like, "Ain't like nothing ever happened."
That pause for the cause. Oh man, well, Don, we gonna get out of here. Where can people hit you up at?
Y'all can find me. Y'all can cash at me. Tender loving.
On the screen.
It's on the screen.
People on audio is money sign Tender Lovings.
Yes. And then St. Angeles is the IG page. That's also my name on Threads. I'm on Spill at St. Angeles as well. If you got a code, come kick it with me. And yeah, that's it. You know, I got my candles. I have a new scent dropping. And probably gonna have a big promo. So y'all be on the lookout for that. I'll have Daryl blasted.
Yeah, man. I'm still. Y'all need to get it on Android, man. Can't get on. I need y'all to get better with that. Android
with Spill,
I can't get on that.
I'm gonna need for you to just come over to the. I'm gonna need you to come on to the blue side. No.
Too many y'all girls over there with the iPhones.
No, it's not. It's just so much. It's just so convenient. I like it a lot.
Too many of my dudes, friends, girlfriends, everybody got too many. I want y'all not to be able to get access to me. Cause y'all be FaceTime and stuff all the time. No.
You don't have. You could turn. You know, you could turn that feature off.
Oh, you can.
You could turn that feature off.
I thought that was this open source situation.
No, it's not. You also don't have to answer. But at one point, I know you could turn it off.
Okay.
Let me look. Wrap it up. I'm on 10%.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah. We out here, y'all. Peace.